Hey, today I would like to show you another lens. It's actually a lens made for crop sensor cameras you can use on the Canon 90D without the need of any adapter, but that you can use also on the Canon EOS R, which is a full frame camera with the adapter to adapt EF and EF-S lenses on the Canon EOS R. Of course, when you use an EF-S lens designed for crop sensor cameras on the Canon EOS R, there are limitations, and we'll talk about it after the intro. What's up guys, Dan Furlani here and welcome back to a new video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. If not, just hit the like button. What do we talk about today? As I said before the intro, it's an EF-S lens. The EF-S 24mm f2.8, the pancake lens. I know I have already talked about this lens in my previous videos, but this time I wanted to show it to you outdoors and with both the Canon 90D and the Canon EOS R. So what's good about this lens? Well, first of all, the price. I believe is one of the cheapest Canon lenses you can find, and its price is around $130, $40 or something like that. Another thing, it's tiny, and that's why they call it the pancake lens. It's so flat and so light. You can almost eat it. I'm joking, don't eat it. It's also a pretty sharp lens, but most of all, we can use it on the Canon 90D without any adapter, and on the Canon EOS R, which is a full frame camera, but with the Canon adapter, we can use it on it just with a few limitations. But first, let's see what happens when you put it on the Canon 90D. As I said already, maybe too many times, the EF-S 24mm f2.8 is for crop sensor cameras. So its field of view would not be like a 24mm on a full frame. You have to multiply that number by 1.6, so you get a field of view of like 38mm more or less. Right now I'm shooting with the Canon EOS R with the 10 to 18mm. It's another EF-S lens, and I'm using it with the adapter. But now I just want to show you the Canon 90D with the 24mm, the pancake lens. Just a second. This is the Canon EF-S 24mm f2.8 on the Canon 90D, right now at f2.8 with an ND filter, of course, a variable ND filter. Let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And by the way, check the links in the description to see all my gear and stuff and things. My gear. Even though it's a 24mm lens, because of the 1.6 crop factor, you're seeing it like at 38mm on full frame. I've been using this lens with both my Canon M50 and my Canon 90D, especially indoors for my YouTube videos. Even indoors, like in studio, this lens is not too wide and not too tight. If you shoot your videos indoors, like to frame yourself properly and get some kind of shallow depth of field, even if not much, but I think f2.8 is supposed to give us a decent shallow depth of field, especially if the subject is close enough to the camera. Okay, I'm gonna show you this lens on the Canon EOS R with the adapter, of course. Just 1 second. and this is the Canon EOS R with the EF-S 24mm f2.8 at f2.8 with an ND filter, a variable ND filter, and this is what it looks like. Wait a minute, why does it look like exactly the same field of view that we had earlier with the Canon 90D and this lens? Well, there is this thing about the Canon EOS R when you want to use EF-S lenses on it with the adapter, is that when you use EF lenses, everything's fine, everything's normal. You can see a 50mm like the Nifty 50 at 50mm like full frame. You won't see it cropped like 1.6 or anything unless you want to. You can see it like a 50mm. This is for all EF lenses. When it comes to EF-S lenses, however, since they're meant to be used on crop sensor cameras, the EOS R adapted itself acting just like a crop sensor camera. That there is not enough glass in the lens to cover the full sensor. And there is also another limitation that for me is huge. Like when you use EF-S lenses with the adapter on the Canon EOS R, for some reasons we won't be able to shoot high frame rates, and I'm not just talking about 120 frames per second, which would be already bad enough, but also we won't be able to shoot in 60 frames per second. So that rules out the possibility of doing any slow motion with this setup, unless we use some tricks to slow down a 24 or 30 frames per second footage in post, which I've done a couple of times in my videos, and I think I made a video about it. Just check it out here on the card when you get a chance. Besides that, this lens looks pretty good. Let me know what you think about it, and again, leave a comment down below. Let's see if you need this lens just for shooting like interview shots like this for a talking head, YouTube videos and in the studio, it's a great lens. But if you want to do slow motion, that's not gonna happen. I mean, so you should carry with you another lens like the 50mm, the Nifty 50. I made many videos about it, and it's great. When you put it on the Canon EOS R with the adapter, there's no limitation. You can shoot your B-rolls 60 frames per second and slow down in post, or 120 frames per second if you don't mind the 720p. Another thing I forgot to mention, this lens shouldn't be used for vlogging because obviously it's too tight, and also because there is no stabilization. And even though it's a 24mm, yeah, it's true, but it acts like a 38 for what concerns the field of view. So when shooting handheld, it might be a little shaky. You may want to use a gimbal with it, or you just put it on a tripod and bob's your uncle. So that'd be it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you ain't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.